कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Rama and Lakshmana, who had reached the Rishyamukha Parvata, who had spoken to Hanuman, were escorted by Hanuman to the place where Sugriva was hiding. Hanuman tells Sugriva, "Do not worry, Sugriva. The people who have come are great warriors. They are the sons of the great King Dasharatha. Come out, talk to them." So in their initial meeting, Lakshmana projects as if Rama was performing Sharanagati to Sugriva, seeking his mercy intervention in fetching Sita back from the clutches of Ravana. At that point in time, we had discussed whether it was justful of Rama, who is seen as Paramatma incarnate, to have performed Sharanagati to a primitive Vanara called Sugriva. We have given reasons such as the mother or father demonstrating activities for their children, how an activity should be carried out. To demonstrate the concept of Sharanagati, seeking somebody's help, and to also tell how Sharanagati should not be performed to a person who is less powerful, who is less knowledgeable than the person who is performing Sharanagati. That said, Hanuman narrates the life history of Rama. This is where Hanuman's process begins. From then on, time and again he has had the opportunity to describe Rama's life history. Saguna Brahma Parat Pararam Kalatmaka Parameshwara Ram Shesha Talpa Sukaridrutaram Brahmadyamara Prathitaram Jandagiranakulavardanaram Srimad Sharathanandanaram Kausalya Sukhavardhanaram Vishwamitra Priyadhanaram Goratataka Gatakaram Marichagrinipatakaram Kaushikamakha Samrakshakaram Srimadahalyodharakaram Gautama Muni Sampujitaram Suramuni Varagana Samstutaram Navita Dhavita Mrudupadaram Mithila Purajana Mohakaram Videha Manasaranjakaram Triambaka Karmuka Bhanjakaram Sitarpitavara Malikaram Kritavaivahika Kautukaram Bhargavadarpa Vinashakaram Srimadayodhya Palakaram Rama Rama Jaya Raja Ram Rama Rama Jaya Sita Ram. So likewise, each of the important incidents in Rama have been beautifully strung in such compositions. This is just one, there are many. So Hanuman starts singing praises about Rama's birth, Rama's marriage, Rama's good brotherhood with his brothers. He stresses on that because Sugriva didn't have one such. So all this was described to Sugriva, and then finally Hanuman concludes this is the state in which Rama is. He came to the forest with his beloved wife. His beloved wife has been abducted by Ravana. Underline why? Because Sugriva knew about Vali, his brother, and knew about Ravana, Rama's enemy, and knew about the friendship that his brother Vali had with Ravana. So Hanuman beautifully conveys all of this. Then he starts narrating the life history of Vali, the relationship what Vali had with Sugriva. It is largely believed that Vali, the Vanara, Sugriva and Vanara, who were brothers, were born as the grace of Indra and Surya. It is believed. For example, Indra's incessant grace led to the birth of Vali. Surya's incessant grace led to the birth of Sugriva. So, in a way, Vali, who was a Vanara, was treated as Indraputra, and Sugriva, who was a Vanara, was treated as Suryaputra. Later we will see how Sugriva kills Vali. Suryaputra kills Indraputra. Why? Because Paramatma Sriman Narayana as Rama has sided with Sugriva, therefore the defeat of Vali was inevitable. The reverse happens in Sri Mahabharatam. Suryaputra is Karna, Indraputra is Arjuna. There, Krishna, Paramatma incarnate Krishna, sides with Indraputra Arjuna and defeats the Suryaputra Karna. In Mahabharata, Suryaputra Karna is defeated. In Ramayana, Indraputra Vali is defeated. In the Ramayana, Paramatma sides with Suryaputra Sugriva. In Mahabharata, Paramatma Krishna sides with Indraputra Arjuna. So you should understand the similarities and the differences between these two large epics. Now these two brothers seem to have lived very happily, showing good signs of brotherhood in Kishkindha. Vali was the reigning king. Sugriva was his fervent brother, servant and minister. It did so happen that due to the infatuation that Vali had for a woman who was excessively beautiful. We are not aware of what that lady's name was, but she was excessively beautiful. And Vali cast his eyes on her and was enamored by her beauty. But the sad part was, the same lady also had her beauty which was described and which was largely praised by another person. And this demon was called as Mayavi. Mayavi was the son of a demon called Maya. Maya had two sons, Mayavi and Dundubhi. This Mayavi was head over heels in love with this lady, as much as Vali was. So Vali and Mayavi had an altercation. That became a tussle, that became a big duel, Malyuddham. As they started fighting, they were very strong people. As they started fighting, they slowly reached a cave. And as they entered the cave fighting each other, as he was fighting, Vali told Sugriva, Sugriva, I am going to fight fiercely with Mayavi. I don't know who will win. It could be him winning or me winning. But in case I lose, this man will cause excess trouble to you, to the citizens of Kishkindha. So you may kindly cover the opening of the cave in case you find me losing this Malyuddham, Dvandva Yuddham. Sugriva with his retinue religiously waits outside the cave, praying sincerely that Vali should win the Dvandva Yuddham. But they hear a huge cry of Vali. The moment Vali's voice is heard by the retinue and Sugriva, they all assume that Vali would have died, because that was the tone with which he yelled. So they were worried if Vali himself, one of the best warriors known during those times, had to face defeat at the hands of Mayavi, what will the state of them and the subjects be? So Sugriva covers the opening of the cave with a huge boulder and comes back to Kishkindha. While they were all mourning over the death of Vali, the ministers and the subjects come and say, Sugriva, you have to now take the reins of this kingdom. We need a leader. In Vali's place, you have to rule, Sugriva. Like how we have those political statements these days. I did not want to come to the position. My party men asked me to take up this position. So does Sugriva. So he becomes the king of Kishkindha. While he was ruling the kingdom, one day, Vali enters the Sabha Mantapam. All of them were surprised. You may assume that they were thinking he was a ghost. No, he was very much in flesh and blood. Vali was furious seeing Sugriva seated on the Simhasana. Those two brothers who were so close to each other, one doubts the other. He says, Sugriva, you were waiting for me to get defeated. You were in fact waiting for an opportunity to make me or see me die within those walls of the cave. That is why you covered. Sugriva tries justifying. He says, no brother, we all assumed, just not me, the entire retinue thought that you had died. That is why we covered the cave, and I was reluctant to take over the mantles of this particular kingdom. But because without a Raja, it becomes Arajakam. There is no Raja. So there should not be a position to Kishkindha, which was once ruled by you, where there is no king at all. So I have assumed the role of the king. That I am ready to give the position of the king and the kingdom back to you. Vali said, do you think I have come here seeking alms from you, bhiksha from you? That time Sugriva performs Sharanagati to Vali. Sharanagati can be performed for a reason, and Vali was more powerful. So all those conditions sufficed. So he said, my dear brother, please accept my unconditional surrender. I have no evil thoughts against you. Please take back the king position and the kingdom. Natva padavaham tasya mukutena sprisham prabho api Vali mama krodhan na prasadam chakarasaha. But Vali does not pay attention or heed to Sugriva's request and Sharanagati request especially. So he discards him. He says, you've been excommunicated. You have to become a pariah. You are no more a person who belongs to this particular kingdom. Sugriva exits the kingdom. But one thing which was very sad, while Sugriva was excommunicated, Vali holds back Sugriva's wife Ruma in his clutches. So, a daughter-in-law, brother's wife, should be assumed as one's own mother or sister or daughter. But Vali, being a man of very little character or bad character, does not accord that respect to his brother's wife and holds her in his clutches and excommunicates his brother alone. What does Sugriva do after that? Was he helpless? Did anybody come to his rescue? More in the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.